Now that we have our graphs created, we're ready to put this into something that we can either cut on the laser cutter or 3D print. So what you want to do is click the Download Chart button and select Scalable Vector Graphics. And that has downloaded. Now yours will probably download to your Google Drive, which is a good thing. Mine has downloaded into my downloads. Now that you have it downloaded, you want to get on one of the desktop computers and open that file. And it should open in a program called Inkscape. So I'm getting ready to do that now. I'm going to have to do a little bit different process than you'll have to do, but you will be able to go onto your computer and click the log into file stream and click your Google Drive and My Drive, and you should find towards the bottom, you should find the file that you just downloaded. It might be called bottom of follower, or some of them were called radial dimensions. So if you scroll down to the R's, mine is in downloads. So I'm going to go to downloads and I'm going to open this file. Mine's wanting to open in Internet Explorer. You can just double click yours and it should open in the correct program. But I'm going to open it, I'm going to right click on it and tell it to open in Inkscape, which is the program we're going to use. You should be able to, again, you should be able to just double click yours. So here's Inkscape. Inkscape is a program that will allow us to create vectors. I'm going to zoom in. So down here on the bottom right, there's a zoom button. And what has happened is now every single thing on here is separate. And we just want this shape because that's the cam that we're going to use. Now before we do that, I want to make sure that this cam is the right size. And I know that it should be 2 inches from this point to this point. So I'm going to resize this before I delete anything. So go to File and go to Document Properties. Inkscape automatically defaults to either pixels or metric, and we're going to change everything to inches. So I want to click this display units in inches and also change the inches to inches. In addition, I don't need my page to be that big. I know that my cam needs to be 2 inches tall, so I'm actually going to make my page that tall so that I can size my cam to be that size as well. So now that I've done that, I can close that box. So there's a white background behind there. I'm going to delete that first of all so that I can actually see my page. And you can delete these words. You can go ahead and you want to select this tool up here and then just click your delete button. Make sure you're not hitting the backspace button. A lot of people do that, but it's really the delete button. Now I do not want to get rid of these lines yet because I need to put my hole right here in the middle. So I'm going to get rid of everything but the lines right now. So again, I'm just clicking each one and then hitting delete. Once I get all these deleted, and if you want to do it faster, you could hold your shift key down and delete several of them at a time. It's a little bit hard because every one of those lines is individual. So we're going to get rid of all of these. That 0 might be hard to get rid of. I think I'll leave it for right now. The next thing I'm going to do is select everything. So I'm clicking, dragging around. It selects everything, and I'm going to move it to my page. You can tell that that is not the right size yet. So I'm going to resize this. So I'm dragging that top arrow and resizing all of this at once until the blue cam fills up my page. And you can tell it's filled up the page now. Now that we've got that blue cam filling up the page, maybe a little bit bit short. I'm going to check it. If I click on just the blue cam, I can tell how tall it is. Now, I don't want to resize it by itself because I need to resize it with the grid. So I'm going to select again and just try to resize that just a little bit more. Okay, let's check again. And that's pretty close, 1.995. I think that's probably good enough. We're within tolerance, so that's 5/1000ths of an inch. So the next thing I want to do is put a circle right here in the middle. And if yours doesn't, mine's trying to do red, and if yours doesn't show up, it's probably because your circle is white. So in order to change that, so click your circle tool and go to fill and stroke, and you should be able to change your color here. To whatever color you need it to be. So play with that, but I'll leave mine red. It doesn't really matter what color it is, but you don't want it to be white for sure. So go ahead and make a circle, so just click and drag out, and then hit escape, and escape one more time. Get out of the circle tool. This isn't really a circle yet, it's an ellipse, so I'm going to change it, and I want my circle to be 0.222 by 0.222. I just happen to know that that's what's going to fit the axle the best. So I'm going to put that right in the middle. I actually do not want to fill mine. I want it to be just outlined. So let's see if I can get it. There we go. So I clicked fill, and I took that off, deleted the fill, but then I did the stroke. I changed it, clicked this first one and made it black. So that's really what I want there for that circle. Looks like and then now you kind of want to make sure that that circle is right in the middle. It looks like it is there to me. So now that you've got the circle on there, you can delete everything else now. So just click on everything and delete it. Everything but the cam and the circle that we made. And then last I'm going to delete the 0. Okay, so there's the cam and the hole for the axle. So this we can just save right over top of. So we're going to save as. Make sure mine's in my downloads, so I don't want it to be there. I want it to be on my Google Drive in my engineering folder. So make sure you save yours in your engineering folder, and I'll save that. And if you wanted to laser cut this like out of a piece of cardboard or a piece of plywood, then it would be ready to go. All you would need to do is on Echo is you would just need to fill out the makerspace request form, which the makerspace request form is right here on your home page. So you just click that, put your name, choose that this is a school project. So school project, and click next, and then you put that this project is for IED. All of a sudden my mouse is not working. so this project is for IED, and it is the Autonoma, or you can say CAM design, whatever the project is, and then whatever date it's due that you need it. So don't put the date that it's due. You really want to give them a week to get it done, and then you're going to have a Makerspace student assistant do it, and the machine, if you were using this SVG file, is the laser cutter. Click next, and we want the laser cutter to maybe do not poster board, but maybe some cardboard, and then next, and then we would upload, so click File, Upload, and add the file. So I would select that file that I just made. Mine's in my engineering folder, so I got to go to Google Drive, My Drive, Engineering, and then that's the file right there. Click Upload, and next. And then if there's anything that you want to tell them special, you can put that there. Here for the dimensions of the project, you might put that bottom to top of cam needs to be 2 inches and hole is 0.222 inches. So give them some description so that they know exactly, and then they'll email you back. Please make sure that when you fill one of these out that you really check your emails, because they're not allowed to actually cut it until you give them the okay. So make sure you check that. Now, if you want to 3D print your cam, there's a little bit different process. So go back to Inkscape, and instead of saving that as an SVG, we're going to have to save it as a different type of file. So we're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to change this to this desktop cutting plotter AutoCAD DXF file. So that's the kind of file that we can use in Inventor, and then click Save. And under Options, make sure this RoboMaster is checked, and also make sure that the base units are inches, and then click OK. And that has saved that. Again, that should have been in your engineering folder, so I'm going to go back and see if I saved it in the right place. So let's see. Yep, it's in my engineering folder, so we're good. So once you have it saved, then what you would do is open Inventor, and I'm going to show you how to actually open that file and save it as something that we can 3D print. Okay, so now that we've got Inventor open, we're going to make a new part, and we'll start a sketch, but we really won't sketch anything. We'll actually import the file that we just made. So I know Inventor takes a little bit to load. So here we go. We're going to start a sketch and click the XY plane. And instead of drawing, we're going to click this button that says Insert AutoCAD. So we're going to insert the AutoCAD file. Now you will have to change it from DWG to DXF. And if yours didn't automatically pop up to your engineering folder, then you might have to find that. So, you know, Google Drive, My Drive, Engineering. So there's mine, and I'm going to click Open. Takes a little while to load, so it's down. You can see down here it's loading presentation, so it's okay. Just takes a little while. Now I don't know if you heard that beep, but I've got this dialog window that I need to say okay on, so I had to hit Alt Tab until I could find that window and click OK. Sometimes that's hidden, so you have to hit Alt Tab to find it. And then once it comes up, we're going to actually, we've got to select this black background and then click next. And then we're gonna, if this doesn't say is not checked, make sure you check specify units and do inches. And then also check, all of these have been checked for me, but make sure that you check constrain endpoints, apply geometric constraints, and AutoCAD to Inventor. So all of those need to be checked. Click finish. It will bring that in. So there's our cam. One thing I'm going to check, and I don't know why it does this, but sometimes it will change the dimensions. Actually, it's pretty close on this one, so I think we're going to be good on that. It's 1.971, so I think we're pretty good on that. You can't just redimension that because it won't redimension everything proportionally. So I'm just going to leave it. They can dimension it for you when they 3D print it, so it'll be okay the way it is. So click Finish Sketch, and then extrude this. And I'm going to extrude it 1/4 of an inch. So I clicked that profile, everything but the hole, and I'm going to extrude it 1/4 of an inch. And I would save this as a part file, so just call it Cam Design and save it. And then the file that you need to 3D print is called an STL file. So you want to File, Export, and export CAD format. So I didn't click export, I just hovered over it and then I clicked CAD format, and I want to change it to an STL. That's the kind of file that we need in the makerspace in order to 3D print. And I'm going to leave it called Cam Design and then click Save. And then you would follow the same process for filling out a makerspace request form. Instead of the laser cutter, so I'm going to go back to that. So instead of the laser cutter, you guys would select, and this voxel 3D printer is the smaller ones, and you guys don't need it to be very big, so just click the voxel. And then you want to do PLA, not ABS. PLA prints a lot better. And then click next, and then you can choose the color that you want. I'm going to choose light blue. Next, and then I would upload, and I would take this one off and add my Cam Design. So I can go from my drive to Cam Design. And I have lots of them, so I actually may go back and find my engineering folder so that I make sure I have the right one. Make sure it's the one that's camdesign.stl, not the camdesign IPT. Hit select, next, and then you can put your dimensions. Now, I do not want you to submit for this assignment. I do not want you to submit your Cam Design to be 3D printed or laser cut. I'm just providing this video for your reference when you guys get to your Autonoma toy project, so that you will know how to submit those files.